What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we are back today with another episode of Star Trek Resurgence. And man, I have to say, I know I'm gushing. I know it, but I love this game. I am super pleased that I picked this up, and I'm super happy that I get to share it with you guys. This has been an absolute pleasure to do, and I look forward to playing it every single time. Last time we met up with the delegations, and things got a little heated, and Jara got herself stuck in the middle and may have inserted foot into mouth. So let's go ahead and see where this kind of leads us. Alright, so we need to speak with the members of each faction. Now, this game really does look really good. I'm going to talk to you. I have to talk to these guys, though. Okay. Sidron.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Illidians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
I'm not on either side.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
I will keep that in mind.
I assume you were there, the day the mines were seized from the Illidians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Illidians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Did you have help?
Did you have help from someone else?
Hotari stands alone against the Illidian forces. We don't need help from anyone. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Illidians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
She can hold her own.
I wouldn't say state-of-the-art, but the Resolute is plenty capable and can hold its own against just about anything.
Let's hope so. Because at the moment, it's the only thing preventing them from wiping us off the map.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
I'm sure. Interesting. What's this? Appreciate water.
Soothing.
Weird. Weird. That's weird. Just gotta say, that's weird. Tylus.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
You need to thank Spock for that one.
If anyone deserves thanks, it's Ambassador Spock. No one is more invested in negotiating a peaceful settlement to this conflict than he is.
I'm so glad. We need his help before the situation escalates further than it already has. It's been very trying.
I bet.
I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Calvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
You don't trust him?
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Illidians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them.
Could be the
But
Ion
it has no
Stone?
teeth.
No.
Like they're afraid of what might happen.
I clicked the wrong
Is
button.
it for fear of the repercussions, once the Federation became part of the equation?
Possibly. But I almost want to say this was from the very start. Before engaging the Federation was even on the table.
Interesting.
Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security.
Okay, that's weird.
I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
Oh, that's never
Everyone
good.
agrees, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
You sure?
Are you sure of this?
It's been the talk of the palace since the day of the revolt.
How can we know?
You're supposed to wear your face mask down. Just want to let you know.
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
It's really good, like, acting and
Sorry, I couldn't help
dialogue
but notice you
and,
were speaking
like,
with the
this is
Hotari
great.
this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without a Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
we are going to remain neutral.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price?
Huh.
Major Solid Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity.
They do.
Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
You sound skeptical.
You sound skeptical.
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
That helps explain it.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
Very
If you'll excuse
diplomatic and open-minded for a military guy. It's interesting. Okay. Okay.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
You got
Otari
involved?
refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
I think so. It just switches back and forth like it would in a Star Trek episode, man. This is
Gravitational
great.
harmonics failing to resolve.
I love
Warp
this.
bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space
The
itself?
storm, you know? Hey,
You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
the storm.
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
The storm.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship. To construct a
Probes.
clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Nice. What? We'll get to fly a shuttle? Dude. Well, I'd probably not fly it, but, you know, do stuff in a shuttle. This is gonna be cool.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Okay, so fly the shuttle to your objective to complete a mission. Use R2 to... Whoa, we're gonna fly a shuttle. Holy crap. Fly forward with R2. Fly backward with L2. Use right and right to turn, left to strafe. The storm will push your shuttle around. Stay focused to maintain your course. Okay. Whoa, okay. Okay. Oh man, this is cool. Well, don't hit the, Oh, you gotta hold down the gas. Huh, cool.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
This
Thank
is
you,
so
Mr.
cool,
Chovak.
man.
We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Well, this is about last time? I'm sorry, okay?
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
He's not bad.
Nah, Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him.
There we go.
And, I've learned a lot working under him.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to work harder. Be a political animal like you. There's no first officer coming aboard.
It's actually kind of hard to fly this thing. Oh man, this is so cool. I made it.
Far enough. Transporting the first probe into position.
Okay, so we got to drop off 6 probes.
Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem? I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. On the one hand, she went with my idea to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. On the other, she wouldn't listen to me when I was trying to get you through the hull walk alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well,
Bro.
us.
I've heard
Give her
some
a
good
chance.
things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa, what was that?
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
Probing.
With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me.
Yeah?
Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak.
Thanks
sure.
for the advice, man.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot.
That's right,
There are
Jellicoe.
places to go in the
God.
enlisted ranks, too.
I'm happy
Of
where
course,
I'm
if you
at.
get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy where I am.
You must be a glutton for punishment. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has been known to take decades to warm up to people.
That's funny. At least he liked that, though. That's good. Wow, this is great, man. Okay.
Here, this is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe.
Cool, man. Sounds
Westbrook to
perfect.
Commander Chovak, we're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Locate interference peaks. Okay. There's one. Looks like another.
We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
There's another one. Probably one more somewhere. Let's see one over in this area. Where is it? Where are ya? It's Part of the same one. Part of the same one. There you are.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally.
Oh no.
I don't know how they're doing it.
Why would they do that?
Nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something.
Yeah,
much
something bigger is going on, for sure.
Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
Yeah, they're definitely upper
Here I
handing.
thought the Illydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
What are they up to?
I don't know why the Hotari wanted us here, but it wasn't to negotiate.
Clearly, peace is not their intention.
No.
Then what is? Why go through this charade?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
She trusts me.
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us, and I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
It doesn't make sense.
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense to bring us here. Tylus said that Galvin and Sidron have restricted access to the mines, even to the Hotari. So they don't want anybody to learn what they've found.
Yeah.
And calling in the Federation is a funny way of going about it. I don't think the Illydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Arminta said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harness the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
I thought so.
Illydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
This is so cool, man. This is a really deep and interesting story.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Whoa.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to
That
gain
looked,
access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us
like
with?
Takan engineering.
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Oh.
Tylus.
Oh.
Reconnect.
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
Let's hope so.
It was hard to tell.
She knows what she's doing.
Tylus wouldn't have offered to help if she didn't know what she was doing.
That's a lot of faith in someone we barely know.
Trust me, Captain.
Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
Looks like something out of
when we get back to the
Star Trek Online to be real. I think it's Takan.
It might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Lydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. But we're, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
The artifact is proof.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption. And targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
All right, y'all. That is interesting. We are on to... The logo for this game has a very familiar... Like, I've seen that imagery around, and then seeing that console, I really do feel that we are dealing, at least, you know, if not with the Takan, then one of the other ancient civilizations, the Preservers. Yeah, or the Preservers or someone else. Like, very, very interesting. So, I think we're going to leave it there for today. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you happen to be. And just remember to always live long and prosper.